It keeps doing it. It just gives us half a countdown and then just starts. All right, fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Hoops podcast. Welcome back, or just welcome if you're new. I am one of the hosts, Sean. That is Marquise, a.k.a. the God of Predictions, apparently, is what it says on his nameplate. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that in a moment. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know about a bet that we made about the 76ers record. We'll get to that in a moment. But this is the podcast where we talk about basketball, mainly the NBA, mainly the 76ers, which I guess we might as well just jump right into. Marquise, I owe you $20.
You owe me $20.
Yep, I owe you $20.
You know what I mean? Throughout this podcast, whenever you feel like it, you just, cash app me. Basically, back my $10.
Yeah, exactly. Plus 10.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, we had a bet. I'm literally cash apping you right now. So For those of you who don't know, me and Marquise had a bet coming out of All-Star break.
Cash App, sponsor us. We're literally using your device or your app.
Your app. We are. We're doing it right now as we speak.
This is twice. This is twice now.
Yep. This is the second time that we've done this on the pod. Here we go. See it going through. My phone. Going through right now. Sending it your way.
Got it.
All right. So, for those of you who don't know, me and Marquise placed a bet coming out of All-Star break that in the next, 20 games?
No, 10 games out. It was 10 games out.
What? Oh, so 500 of the next 10 games?
Yes.
Okay, so of the next 10 games coming out of All-Star break, the Sixers would go 500 or better. So at least 5 games they would win.
You put in the title line for a bitch? That's how you feel? Thanks for your money.
I believe the games were the Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat twice, Bucks, Heat.
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
No. I'm sorry, looking around.
No, not the Knicks.
So the break started after the 15th. So it was the Grizzlies. We lost. Yeah. We beat the Grizzlies. We lost to the Celtics. We lost to the Heat. We beat the Heat. We lost to the Mavericks. But then we beat
the Bucks,
Pacers, and Timberwolves.
Yep.
So 500.
Yep. So Marquise, you won, but also I kind of won because I am also a 76ers fan. So it was a win-win.
Yeah, I guess so. But no, not really. How's it a win-win?
It kind of was. Because my team is doing well.
No, you said it's a win-win. How's it a win-win?
Because
it's a win-win for me.
Because either my team does well.
Actually, it was a win-win-win.
Because either my team does well or I win the bet. That's literally the options for me.
But it wouldn't be a win-win, though, because you lost.
But my team did well. That's a win in my book.
So, okay. It was a win-win-win for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My team did well. I was right. And I get $10.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, there's that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that they went 500. I would have been, I don't know. Part of me feels like, I really feel like I would have been okay losing to, we lost to the Grizzlies? We beat the Grizzlies.
We beat the Grizzlies. I
would have been okay with losing to the Grizzlies if it meant beating the Celtics. You could take any W away from that stretch and
we still got another
make it a Celtics win, and it would make it worthwhile for me. I just want us to beat the Celtics.
I mean, well, probably not. I'll be honest with you. Because it's going to be April 4th. I doubt anybody's going to be playing by then. Most people just sit out because of, But, still a chance. You know what I mean? Our chances
I
go
want us
up.
to beat the Celtics.
Unless seeding comes in and then possibly we are playing through that. But right now we are 2.5 games above the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And we're 1.5 games behind the Celtics.
Yeah. No, we're full 2 games now. Full 2 games.
Oh, it is?
Because, they got a season series, so it's that half game.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying, like, by that game that you're talking about in April, seeding will probably play a pretty big part because...
Yeah, because
they were on a 3-game losing streak and we were on a 3-game winning streak. If the trends continue and we continue to get closer, that game is going to be really important.
The only team that we should have trouble with, and I said this before, and then we fucking lose to a team that we're not supposed to. The only team that we should really have trouble with in this next stretch is the Cavaliers.
Yeah,
we play the Trailblazers, the Wizards, the Hornets, which is guaranteed win. They're
and
like
the Raptors, right?
We played the Hornets, the Pacers, the Bulls twice, who Joel has never lost to, the Warriors, the Suns, and this one it starts to get like back up there in terms of like it's a whole bunch of like just a fucking dogfight. Suns, Nuggets, Mavericks, Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Hawks, Nets. But like by those last 4 games, we probably should be wrapped into what we are. And the standing should be set, but if not, of course we're playing those. But I doubt like a lot of these guys would be playing because I don't think the Celtics would be at that point playing because they would probably have wrapped up one of the seeds already, or they were trying to lose to get in a better seed. So, yeah. I mean, because like I feel like right now we could only get to 2.
Yeah, exactly.
All right now.
Which, I mean. It's interesting because if we're at 2 and the Celtics are at 3, no matter what, we play the Celtics in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, we have to go through one of those guys to get there. I mean, we got to go basically both. I mean,
I would always prefer the Bucks.
No, for sure, because the Bucks is who we match up well against.
Yeah,
and I feel like Celtics we match up well against, but it's just that we don't. It's very weird. We do match up well against them because there's nobody stopping Joel. Yeah, it's literally psychological. And I feel like every time we play them, it's just some shit that goes their way. Some weird shit just goes their way. You know what I mean? And we play them. But, like, everything eventually comes to the end. And, like, with the playoffs, we have had the team with the worst fucking luck.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, that luck has to swing our way. Whether it's injuries, shots that bounce on the rim 4 fucking times, coaches that don't want to call timeouts when we're up 20 and our league goes down to 10. Like, luck has to eventually go our way.
Yeah.
It just has to. And maybe, some shit happens. Jason Tatum runs into Jaylen Brown, and then Jaylen Brown's fucking on the ground because his fucking eye's broken or some shit like that. I'm not like saying it will happen. It's just because it did, and that sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar.
It's just because it did against us, though.
Yeah,
and we still lost
against us.
And we still lost. We still lost.
So the playoff picture is actually pretty interesting right now. We face the Nets in the first. If the playoffs started today, we face the Nets in the first round.
It would be
that would be interesting to say the least. Having
Ben
Simmons have to come back to the Wells Fargo Center for at least 2 games in a row.
Ben Simmons is out of rotation, so he'll just be there,
That's crazy.
And prime Ben Simmons, bro. Prime Ben Simmons. He's on the bench.
That's crazy.
There.
That's still a crazy thought. The idea of Ben Simmons just being out of the rotation. Because it's like, that's the perfect team for him. That's the team that everybody wanted us to build for him.
Crazy. It is. And he can't even get time on it. Because Claxton is just a way better player, and you can't play them both on the floor at the same time.
But even then, like, they were talking about him being the point guard. Like, the fact that Ben can't like just be on the floor with the ball in his hands with that many shooters around, literally Mikal Bridges, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, and Nick Claxton. Even if Nick Claxton is there, that's still not as big of an issue. Like, put him in the dunker spot. Put him in a pick and roll. Like, it's weird.
Where's Claxton going to go?
No, I mean, put Claxton in a pick and roll with Ben Simmons.
Then you just play off both of them. you just wait under the rim.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they're so tall. I don't know. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it.
Bro, This is exactly what I would do. I see Ben Simmons, I'm already under the rim. I see Claxton coming to do a pick and roll for Ben Simmons. Now that guy is now under the rim because there's nothing coming out of this shit. Like, one of them got to shoot. Like, unless there's, like, a fucking screen until, like, a handoff. But, like, at a certain time, if that's the only thing you could do with those two guys, they're going to blitz that shit, and then it's going to just be shit. Because I think 7-game series, they're going to catch on, and then it's going to be like, fuck, we can't do nothing.
That's crazy, though. The idea of Ben Simmons, two-time All-Star, like, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, runner-up, is just out of the rotation on a team, and he's not even 30 yet.
It's not even 30. I think it's 26.
That's crazy.
26 years old, and he's already...
I don't think we've ever seen a decline that fast. Have we? Like, this man was literally an All-Star 2 years ago. He was at his best 2 years ago. An All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And he's healthy now. And he still hasn't been able to crack the rotation. So let me ask you this. If not the Nets, is there a team for Ben Simmons out there?
The Utah Jazz.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not. I just said a name, bro. I don't even think that.
I mean, at this point, you gotta just think of a team with no center.
Right, like, he has to be a center now. He has to be a center. Like, he can't be.
Or he has to be on a team with a center that shoots. See, that's what made Giannis like.
He wasn't a center. He was only a team with a fucking center that shoots.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Joel's so good elsewhere that you still don't want him to shoot as much as he does. Night. But yeah, that's what unlocked Giannis is like Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton. Having a center who can go out.
Is dog water.
Yeah, having a center who can go out and just knock down threes and is okay with that and is happy with that. That's kind of what made Giannis what he is. Honestly, I feel like the Nuggets.
Nope.
No?
Jokic doesn't shoot enough.
I feel like if you replace Aaron Gordon with Ben Simmons,
Aaron Gordon can shoot.
Yeah. Well,
at least that's a threat.
Yeah.
I'm not. Ben Simmons is going to be either he's going to be a starting center. Oh, Charlotte.
Okay.
There's nothing there, so it's like you can't lose.
Yeah.
You're going to get time. It's impossible.
That's kind of what he needs is a blank slate. He needs a team with.
Is it possible for you to come off the bench? Like literally, it has no direction. The team has no direction at all. Or Houston.
Charlotte.
Like a team with like no direction. Actually, no, they got Alfred Sengun, so it's like there's no point.
Yeah. But he's kind of like a Jokic type.
He's a Jokic type, so you wouldn't need Ben. So and he's not a shooter, so it would get clogged up again. But you go to Charlotte. Charlotte is the best bet, and I feel like they're going to try to unload him. And Charlotte is probably going to be like, this is a low risk, high reward type situation. So
what do you think about OKC?
Probably trade him for like Gordon Hayward. Oh no, I wouldn't do it because they have trajectory. Like they're going to do something. Yeah, you know what I mean. And if you're right, you got Chet back next year. Shea's balling on his mind. What's his name? Williams, the kid they drafted, Jalen Williams, the guard, Jalen Williams. He's playing better than expected. And I just feel like once they get a team together and they see what they got, they can now use those draft picks to go get stars to bring into it. Like, even if you don't believe in Shea as your number one, you could go use like all 30 of them draft picks and go get a superstar or somebody who's unhappy or some shit like that. You go get that, and that puts you now from being a young team to in title contention just like that. So I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't waste shit on Ben. But Charlotte has nothing. It's really LaMelo Ball and like Terry Rozier and like the body of fucking Gordon Hayward and Kai Jones' hair. the body of Gordon Hayward.
Not the
that's
player.
What I would put. That's what.
Just his body.
That's what I would trade for Ben. Like I would trade Gordon Hayward and a second round pick to Brooklyn. to get Ben. You probably gonna have to trade the second round pick to get him off, or they probably just trade the player for player. Because even though Gordon Hayward is a better player, he's the better player right now. He fits what Brooklyn would do, I guess.
Yeah.
Even if Brooklyn decides to keep this, because there was like reports of them trying to send Mikal Bridges somewhere else, and they were trying to send Kim Johnson somewhere else, but like the trades fell through. So, I personally think they're not going to trade Mikal Bridges just because of what they've seen him be able to do as like number one, and like even him, he was like weirded out because like he's like waiting in the corner, and they're like, "No, bro, come get the ball, like come get the ball." So yeah, go Charlotte. Charlotte is the best place for Ben Simmons, hands down.
So I'm still trying to understand this. Like, I'm still trying to really wrap my head around this. Is this credit for Brett Brown and Doc Rivers, then? The fact that they were able to find use for Ben Simmons?
I also feel like not only it's kind of hard to say that because Ben
like, if nobody else has been... If Jacques Vaughn and Steve Nash haven't been able to find use for him, and on top of that, with the Sixers, he was playing with Joel Embiid, who's way better than Nick Claxton. Like... The fact that could work for even just the regular season, but you can't work next to Nick Claxton, or you can't even just replace Nick Claxton. Is that really
what I will
like
say,
a Ben Simmons thing, or is it like a coaching thing?
To never give Doc credit. I never want to, ever, ever in my life. So I'm going to say that Ben Simmons' confidence wasn't shot. I say that. His confidence wasn't shot. He would still do typical Ben Simmons shit, stop at the top of the key, pick up his dribble. He would still do the passing while he's jumping. Like, he'll still do some dickhead shit, but his confidence wasn't shot. We are looking at Ben. This is
a shell of himself.
Like a player who's lost it all. Like, he's like lost it all. And then on top of that, the trade that he thought was going to revive his career only highlighted that he's not that guy no more. So it's in they're 26 to be 26 and you hit your peak, and feel as though he hit his peak, and like a lot of Nets fans were like, no, give him a year. This is his first year back, it was just right. This is his first year back off of these injuries, and he has these knee shots and these surgery and stuff like that. So yeah, you might be able to give him the benefit of the doubt because of that, but like right now, it's like damn near even when you get him next year. Is he even going to be engaged because he's fucking just mentally done? Yeah.
How do you revive that if you're Ben Simmons? How do you revive your career?
You send him to Charlotte. You send him. Ben.
Because
it
can't just be send him somewhere. Because remember, that was everybody's solution with the Brooklyn thing. It's like, oh, he needs a new situation. He needs a new situation. He got into the perfect situation, and it's still not working.
But oh my fucking God! Am I about to defend Ben Simmons? Oh my fucking God!
This has been my plan this whole time. I'm either going to make you defend Ben Simmons or give Doc credit. That is the goal of this discussion. Do it. Fucking say it.
Damn near,
say
it. I'm damn near about to say no comment and to move on. But I feel like once Ben, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It was a terrible team. That's what I would say Ben Simmons came into. A terrible team ran by Kyrie Irving.
The Nets?
Like, it was a whole bunch of... Huh?
The Nets you talking about?
The Nets, yeah. Terrible team ran by Kyrie Irving. And the GM hated the players hated the GM. And they hated the GM so much that the GM got rid of the coaches just so they could shut the fucking players up. Like, it's toxic. He went from being in an environment where he thought was toxic and then went to an environment where he saw what toxic was.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, I hate you put me in this situation. I hate it so fucking bad. But now he sees it. And now the hope for him, he's seen it dwindle. It went from, is he going to play in this playoff game, to him supposedly leaving the group chat all, in his entirety. And it's just like a one thing after another, after one thing and another, and another, and another, and another. And it's like, fuck. it's like at a certain point, it's like, what the fuck can I do right? Like, what did I do wrong or some shit like that? Like, he's stuck in his ways, 100%. So trade him to Charlotte. Trade him to Charlotte because it's like at a certain point, it was like, yeah, fuck Ben Simmons. But then at another point, like once you get that all out your system, and then it's like the second time we played the Nets, it wasn't even fun because it was like Ben Simmons is not going to do shit. You know, it would be different if Ben Simmons went over there and he's like the Draymond Green, he's the connector, and he's like doing all this crazy shit, or he's like
which is what everybody thought would happen
before he left. Yeah, right. He was that shit, and we going against that second game we went against Ben Simmons. Nobody fucking cared.
Mm-hmm.
They literally took it off. They took it off because that was after the trade.
Yeah.
They took it off of national TV.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck about that. It was just the Sixers playing the Nets. It was the New Look Nets versus the Sixers. It wasn't nothing crazy. Because they saw that he wasn't going to do shit. So give him Charlotte. Have LaMelo and Ben. He can play center. He can catch lobs. Just send him over there. Because at a certain point, you kind of do feel bad for him. Because it's like, how? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, how, like you said, we've never seen nobody just go from being a defensive player of the year, all-star, all-NBA to unplayable.
Yeah.
And unplayable with a contract nonetheless, too. Because normally, if a player goes unplayable, it's a contract that you can afford to sit on your bench. That is $30 million.
Even when Al Horford became,
healthy. You know what I mean?
Even when we like Al Horford, it was so clear that Al Horford's contract was just outrageous. He still could play backup center. Yeah. Like, I don't know 100%. What Ben is. Ben even playing backup center? I don't think so.
He wasn't even playing center. He was literally playing like power forward.
Like, he doesn't even come in when Nick goes out.
Thomas more than him.
He doesn't even come in when Nick Claxton goes out.
They had him coming off the bench. Yeah, they don't even want to play him no more, bro. Like, that's crazy. But like I said, Charlotte, easy trade. Is Gordon Hayward? I think Gordon Hayward is. He has 1 more year in his deal, if I'm not mistaken. And you just do that little trade, let him go to Charlotte, and if he can't do nothing to Charlotte, bro, then I think it's GG's. Like, I feel like another team is going to give him a chance, but it's not. He's no longer start. Like, Charlotte is his last opportunity to like be a starter, show something. Because obviously, if the Charlotte goes, all right, well, we took a chance, whatever, releases Ben. Ben is going to get another opportunity.
Yeah,
he's going to get another opportunity because, like we said last podcast, he's a backup center, like that we've been looking for. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get an opportunity just based off of who we used to be. And we've seen this a lot when players fall off, like Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is going to get every opportunity under the sun until everybody just goes, Kemba Walker's just not that no more. Isaiah Thomas got every opportunity under the sun until we realize, he's just not that no more. So he's going to get opportunities, and then if this keeps happening, we just go, what could have been versus what is. And that's kind of probably it.
That's crazy.
That's probably it. Oh, yeah, he has another year on his contract. Gordon Hayward for Ben Simmons.
Oh.
You do it. You do it. Straight up. There's no picks that has to be involved. Just straight up, you get help, and then on top of that, Gordon Hayward next year will be on the last year of his contract. And then, you know what I mean? It just makes sense of just expectations-wise. Charlotte's not expected to do shit. Charlotte can go get Wemby. Now you have Wemby, Ben Simmons, and fucking LaMelo Ball, which looks good on paper. But, like, it takes all expectations off. Because even when we got traded to the Knicks, expectations actually probably rose for him. Because now it's like, you're not even number 2. You're supposed to be number 3, and you just literally, your job is to keep everybody together.
Yeah.
So
you're in the situation that everybody imagines you're going to thrive in, basketball wise. You have all these scorers and shooters around you. You're in the situation that everybody expects you to thrive in. So you kind of have to do well. Yeah, I agree.
With all that being said, we won the trade.
I mean,
I had to edit on some shit. We won the trade.
How wild was that saga, though, when it was going back and forth to the point that it was like, oh, the Sixers won the trade. Oh, wait, maybe the Nets won the trade. Oh, no, the Sixers won the trade. Like, it was like a moment where the Nets were on that winning streak or whatever, and, like, Ben Simmons was still playing.
Because remember Kyrie was out, streak, and then they went on that winning streak.
Yeah.
Seth Curry was going. Seth Curry is going to be, and then Seth Curry's a free agent, and he's not going back. Oh, fuck no.
You don't think so? I mean, the Nets can offer him the. Well, they're not going to.
Seth Curry?
Yeah.
Like, they're not, no. Seth Curry wants to go win, bro. They're not winning, bro. They're going to be a solid team, and it's crazy because I pointed this out probably two podcasts ago. The Nets are where they were originally before they got KD and Kyrie. They were a young team that was fun. They were a young and fun team with like guys, this whole mismatched box of like mismanaged toys, and they just came together and they were just playing well.
Not only are they in the same situation, they're in the same situation with some of the same players. Spencer Dinwiddie's back.
You're right.
This nigga's back on the Nets.
All you gotta do is get fucking Jared Dudley as the coach. Go get Theo
D'Angelo Russell.
So you can dance on the sideline.
Go get D'Angelo Russell.
You know what I mean? He's a free agent this year.
Ben Simmons for D'Angelo Russell.
He's a free agent this year. That's the crazy. Oh God.
You
Brian
can't
be like,
trade
nope, I learned my lesson.
But yeah,
I'm no longer getting friends no more.
That's crazy. Yeah, the Nets. Listen. Props to the Nets for turning it around at least. Like, the Nets were a bit of a shit show to begin the year.
I mean, because think about it. And even when they got the guys, it was good because they had that very good game against us. Very good game. They pushed us to the brinks. Obviously, it was hard for the Sixers because they've never seen these group of guys together. They didn't know who was going to be starters, so everything was new. Pushed us to the brink, and we ultimately still ended up winning the game. But still, it was like it looked good. But then they went on a losing streak because once again they are new, and they don't know how to play with each other yet. But
and they're young.
Right now, they're on the 3-game win streak. They're 6th spot in the East. They're 3 games ahead of the play-in. And they they look like they have a solid future. And I mean, obviously they don't have the picks, so they got to do some shit. So yeah, it looks good.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I feel like the Nets are in a good position right now going forward. I feel like there's a few teams that are primed for like a step forward. I think the Nets, honestly the Magic, even though they're still at the bottom of the barrel right now, I feel like with the Magic,
they
play
well.
Yeah, they play well, and their biggest downfall has always been injuries. Like Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz.
Jonathan Isaac is out for the season again.
Yeah, like their injury history is ridiculous. Like they've had the worst. Even the Bulls, like the Bulls have had bad injury problems too, but they had at least a run where they were like top tier in the East. But like the Magic injuries, bro, like, and it always comes at the worst possible moment, and they're younger players too. So it's like, you don't like. Is this going to be like this for the rest of their careers? That's why they keep swapping guys so quick.
Also, the Magic kind of suck at fucking drafting. Let's be honest. If it's not a top 3 pick, they fucking suck. I mean, like, even when they drafted Victor Oladipo, it took Victor Oladipo 2 teams after the Magic to figure out who Victor Oladipo was.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon. It took them forever to realize Aaron Gordon was not a star.
He was not.
Like, he's a good role player, but he's not a star.
Right.
They keep drafting all these guards that are basically the same player.
Bro, you have Jalen Suggs, who I be honest with you, don't have no faith in. Okay, I don't. I just see him play, and I go, what is he good at? Like, what is he good at? Cole Anthony's good at scoring. Wendell Carter has a good, solid center. Like, on
even Markelle can
Markelle
score when he's in the zone.
Right.
Markelle can pass a little bit. Like, he can. Markelle still every now and then shows flashes of like that's why he was a number 1 pick.
Markelle Fultz is their second best player.
Yeah, and
for what you heard, Paulo on JJ Redick's podcast, Markel's the leader.
Yeah, which is crazy.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he's in his 6th year in the league, but still, like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Markel Fultz is better than Ben Simmons. I stand on that. I stand on that.
I mean, at this point, I think Markel could get more minutes on the Nets than Ben.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Markel Fultz.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Markel can get more minutes on almost any team in the league than Ben. Aside from maybe the teams whose best players are guards, like star players are guards.
Yeah, makes sense. 100%. I feel like Ben, if this shit in Charlotte, I'm already painting him as, you see this shit?
Yeah, I saw it.
You see it?
Yeah, I saw
fucking
it.
saw this shit, bro. It's fucking. I gotta close my window. Give me 1 second. Talk. You gonna talk? Because I'm fucking.
I am. Do I miss Markel? I think I do miss Markel.
I love
him. You heard me? Said I love him. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't want to. I'm not against Shake, but I think I've been critical of his inconsistency, and I think I don't know, when I imagine when I reflect on Markel's time in Philly, it always feels like it just ended too soon. Not to say that we didn't give him the chances, or that he wasn't having those setbacks with his injuries and things like that, but it's just like, man, like if he was to be in a lesser role, not in the sense that he is asked to do less, but that he gets less minutes, there's less wear on him. Like, I feel like that backup point guard position for Markel would really be perfect, like with the Sixers. I feel like him and DeAnthony Melton coming off the bench together, like that would be an amazing combination.
It would be a great defensive lineup for
Marquise,
sure.
Can you hear me?
Because people, yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I was saying. Well, I feel like.
No, I heard you the entire time.
Markel. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. If we had Markel instead of Shake, I feel like that would be a magical combination. Him and DeAnthony off the bench.
And I said defensively, Markel is great. Like he was fucking clamping up when we played the Magic. He was clamping up fucking Harden.
Yeah.
Like defensively he's grown. And athletically he fucking still is an athlete.
Yep.
So yeah, I take it back. I take it back.
I would too.
And what you said, it felt like it was kind of a little premature that we let him go. And I feel like that's kind of what a lot of fans felt. Because like it feels like either we hold on to him too long or we let him go too early. And same thing happened with Jeremy Grant. Let him go too early. Early.
I feel like it's like that with a couple guys, honestly.
I'm about to go get it done.
Even, and I hate to say this because it was a trade, and it was a trade for Jimmy, but even Dario. Like, Dario's had injury problems, and he's not the player that he once was, but on this team, next to Joel, he was great. Now, don't get me wrong, I think at this point I might rather have George Niang. But to have a guy like Dario coming off the bench, that's like for any team, that's a huge asset.
Dario at the 5. Didn't he get traded to OKC? Is he even playing?
Maybe.
No, he is playing.
Dario at the 5. Oh, backup 5?
Yeah. I mean, we're already playing fucking Montrezl Harrell and Paul Reed.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, what can we lose, And like Dario is like another George Niang where like he tries.
Yeah, exactly.
Defensively. And like he has a big body.
That team would be kind of similar to back when we had Ersan and Dario together.
100%.
And they had those lineups where it was like the all shooting lineup.
See, but this is the thing. Ersan defensively was slept on.
Yeah,
especially when it came down to his charges and like all the other shit that he draw. Like he was slept on defensively.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess Marco Bellinelli would possibly be the George Niang in this situation. Because if George Niang gets pushed on to the perimeter, he's done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not opposed. Obviously, everything has to go well this postseason, which I'm hoping. I'm using all my prediction powers, all of them, all my God type mythical prediction powers to say the Sixers win the championship. So we could keep Joel, and or like at least go deep, go deep into the playoffs, like Eastern Conference Game 7. Or the finals, Game 7. I
want to make it to the finals.
That would insinuate that this could happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give them light to where they go, oh, fuck. Or give Joel, the thought process of, this could be it. This can work. And,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to make it to the finals. Because I feel like it would be tremendous for Joel's legacy, but also Harden. Harden hasn't been to the finals. Harden's been to a conference final before. I feel like if he didn't play the finals.
Well,
yeah. He went with OKC, but
OKC, yep.
But as one of the main guys, as one of the stars, one of the best players on the team. I mean, even with OKC,
that's the one thing he's missing. One thing he's missing is that championship. That's exactly it. He's done everything else in his career.
Even if he doesn't win, I feel like going to the finals and having a really good series did a lot for Chris Paul's career. Just making it to the finals and I think that means something.
I literally wanted Chris Paul to win that. I wanted him to.
I was so torn because I love Giannis as a player, but Drew. I love Chris Paul and I want Chris Paul to win.
Oh no, I was fucking.
And I was
happy for Drew Holiday.
And I love Drew. Yeah, I love Drew too.
Very happy for Drew Holiday. Another guy
I was happy for Drew Holiday. I was happy for PJ Tucker. I was happy for the Bucks in general, but I also wanted to see Chris Paul get a ring.
I was not happy for the Bucks in general. I cannot do that.
I was happy for the Bucks in general. Here's why I was happy for the Bucks. Here's why I was happy for the Bucks. We've never had a problem beating the Bucks. It's just the matchup. We've never gotten that matchup in the postseason against the Bucks. If we played the Bucks in the semifinals and they beat us in 7 games, I would not be happy for the Bucks to win a championship.
The Bucks were in the same situation as we are going into the playoffs, where Giannis was looking at Miami, Giannis was looking at these other places, and it took them to win a championship to erase all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going into that same situation where
that's
Joel
right.
Could literally, if the shit goes left,
he could be like, "Hey man,
so hopefully history repeats itself." Right, and then Joel goes to Miami. Right,
it's funny how everybody has their eye on Miami always,
because it's not only just the location; it's just the culture of it.
Yeah,
which hasn't worked recently, so I don't know why everybody wants to go there.
Well, I don't
some of it got to be the city.
I don't even know that it hasn't worked. I think it hasn't. I think there's some guys who they have the mentality, but they haven't been able to elevate their games. Mm-hmm. Mainly Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. They have the mentality of a Miami Heat player, but they haven't been able to elevate. They haven't been able to use that as a means of elevating themselves into that next category. And plus, on top of that, the Heat have I don't want to say made some bad investments, but they've bought some used models.
No, they made some bad investments.
Yeah, they got some older models in that garage down there, and some of them are really running the way they used to run.
No, you got to say the names. Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, fucking Tyler Hero defensively, and fucking Bam Adebayo offensively. Sometimes it's you gotta.
Even Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo is not the player he once was either. Yeah. Let's keep it honest. He's not Indiana Pacers Victor Oladipo.
Shit, right now he's not fucking OKC Victor Oladipo. Shit, he's not an Orlando Magic Victor Oladipo right now.
So, they've made some bad investments. Now they got the right guys for the locker room, but for the floor, they don't have the pieces.
It's like even when they were in these lower seats before, people feared the Miami Heat.
Exactly.
That is gone.
Yeah.
Nobody's going if they get there, they're going to have to fight. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight, but nobody's expecting it to be a long dogfight.
Yeah.
They're expecting it to be 5 games.
I feel like people are looking at the Heat the same way that people kind of look at the Blazers. Like, you feel like on any given night, they could beat anybody. They're that talented that they could beat anybody on any given night. They could beat us. They could beat the Celtics. They could beat anybody. But in a 7-game series, nobody fears them.
Not at all.
They're talented enough that if it's 1 game, they're a threat. If it's 4, you got it.
Because this is the thing, right? We could literally, just by definition of 2 games we played by them, first game, they beat us.
Yep.
Second game, Joel didn't play. We won by 30. Like,
exactly.
That's like this shit that...
Exactly.
Like, yo, bro, you gotta get on this shit. Like, you gotta find a way to get some consistency, and it goes into like our predictions. We did the prediction when the Miami Heat didn't do nothing in the offseason.
Yeah.
All they did was bring back Dwayne Dedmon, who they eventually traded on the Sixers.
Us.
Like, right. And they brought back Victor Oladipo, and I think they gave Cody Martin of Caleb Martin. Cody, it's one of them. He gave him an extension.
Caleb. Yeah.
Caleb, yeah.
But they didn't do enough.
And then after that, they did nothing else.
Yeah.
They lost PJ.
Yeah.
They lost kind of your Jimmy's go-to guy in a sense of intensity.
Yeah.
Now Jimmy has to guard everybody.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think that's one of the biggest things, too, is that, like, when Jimmy was with us, he didn't have to guard everybody. You had Joel, who was a great defensive stopper at the rim, and then you had Ben Simmons, who was a guard everybody type of guy, too. And Jimmy could be that, like, late-game scorer where he has all the energy. He can go out and he can, give you those buckets. But seeing Jimmy, like, airball shots late in games, it's like, bro, that man is exhausted.
Right,
it's like
bro.
Finals Jimmy. Like, when he just makes the and one, and he just, like,
no,
he just has to put his head
for this
down.
game to fucking end.
Exactly.
Bro played 49 minutes or something like that? 50
Yeah.
minutes? Oh, no, he played 48 minutes and then, some shit.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We're gonna let him come back to the Sixers, Miami. We'll give you Josh Richardson back.
We don't even have him anymore.
He's on. Right, we'll find a way.
We'll go get him and then send him to you.
Where's he at right now?
We can't trade anything.
Josh
for
Richardson
Jimmy.
got traded. Oh, he's on the Pelicans. That's what.
Yeah. I mean, what, Tobias? If that's the case,
Tobias and our what's that? What's the shit called?
2029.
The 2029. Yeah.
Yeah. 2029 first round unprotected. I would do it. Miami wouldn't do it. But the only way Miami does that is if they're literally blowing it up. And even then, they could probably get a better deal for Jimmy.
Yeah, but it's also, where's Jimmy want to go? Because I feel like Jimmy has done enough for Miami to where they would respect his decision.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like,
but at the same time, Pat not about to get fleeced.
No, you're not going to get fleeced. 2029 is not a fleece. Because we don't know who the fuck is going to be on this team in 2029.
Yeah.
Shit, we don't know who's going to be on the team in the offseason.
We don't know who's going to be on the team. We don't know who's going to be on the draft board. We don't know anything.
We don't know who's still going to be in the fucking league at 2029. So, like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's
you know what I mean?
6 years from now, Giannis might be out here hitting threes because he can't dunk no more on some Vince Carter shit.
You never know. That is a while away.
Yeah.
In one season, everything can change. Let alone 6.
That's true. I mean, the 2029. I mean, we saw it with the Nets. You know, they got a 2029 from what? Dallas, right? For Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Unprotected.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a big deal. It's a, and then especially
that's definitely
with
a buying move because like for them, it makes sense that okay, well, trade away to 2029 because Luka's 23. Like
exactly.
You know what I mean? And we're trying to show Luka that we are right now. That makes complete sense. For us, we are trying to show Joel that we are right now, but at the same time, it's more of a hit because Joel is almost 30. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? For them, it's more so like if we...
It's sort of like what happened with, like, they were saying if we give Harden all the money, it's like, yeah, that's a right now move. You're not thinking about the future at all.
Well, like, if you give him a 2-year max, cool. I'm not giving him 5. Like, I'm not giving him 5 years. 2-year max, because I think he got 2 more years left. That's what I want to give him. You know what I mean? Like, and Harden this year. This is the thing about the recent reports and the stuff that happens every time he wins every time he has a good game. The story comes back out. This is the thing. You will have to show out if you want this contract. You know what I mean? Like, if you want this contract and you want to be actually considered for it, there's a report that came out. The Sixers don't care. They don't care about the Harden shit. They don't care if Harden walks.
They shouldn't.
Right? They're unconcerned about it. That's what they said. That was the exact words. They're unconcerned about Harden. Because if you don't show it, if you do not show in this playoffs that you are worth this contract, or you show that you are anything less of what you've been showing recently, go ahead, walk. Because obviously you wasn't the right guy for it anyway.
Yep. And there's other options.
Going to be right. There's not only is other options, but there's guys that will show up in the playoffs that won't even ask for as much money as you.
Yeah. And you know what?
We can go out there. Tyrese Maxey. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say exactly what you were about to say.
Oh, Tyrese Maxey dropped 44 points in the playoff game. Can go off. This is why I'm happy that he's back in the starting lineup. Because literally what I said was he can hide. He can legit hide. People forget about him. They're stuck in the fucking James Harden dribble in the fucking Joel Embiid post-ups that he just gets lost. And then before you know it, Tyrese Maxey goes on a 12-0 run by himself. Like, that's what we need in a playoff game. Like, when that three start falling and those step backs start coming in and all the other shit and they're double-teaming Joel, we need somebody that can speed up transition, get buckets in transition, and then just fucking get like in the holes and those gaps. He can do that. Like, all angles, like he can do that shit. So, even if Harden walks, you still have Tobias Harris, who is better when he has the ball, who is better when he has the opportunity.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, who I expect to take another step. It's like each year he's taking a step. Yeah. So it's like, okay, you still have Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, D'Anthony Melton, Joel Embiid, PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Without him.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think
use the money.
I think the reason when we talk about the 2029 thing, like you said, the Mavs don't care as much because Luka's 23, whereas it would be more of a hit because of Joel's age. We still have Tyrese. I think having Tyrese is that insurance policy that, like, look, even if we lose Joel, even if we have to blow this shit up, we still got Tyrese. We are not getting rid of Tyrese at all. Tyrese is right now, if we flame out, if we, like, get blown out and get swept in the first round this year, Tyrese is the only untouchable. For real. Like, Joel might request the trade. Harden might request the trade. Tyrese is the only untouchable.
Only.
So I feel like that's what would or should give the Sixers that confidence to be like, all right, fuck it. We'll throw the 2029 in there.
Another thing is, like, when they were like, somebody had said, I was watching the Rights of Ricky Sanchez, and they got a caller in that said we need to trade Tyrese Maxey because it doesn't fit this timeline.
No.
Bro, if our last resort is to trade Tyrese Maxey, we failed.
Yeah,
we have failed dramatically.
Yep.
So you want us to trade somebody who's going to be on this team for the next 10 to 15 years. Literally, 10 to 15 years. In 10 years, he's only going to be 32. In 10 years, he will still be younger than James Harden is now.
Yep.
You want us to trade that because he didn't fit the timeline. At a certain point, is what the fuck is this timeline? Right? Yeah. Like, what is this timeline right now?
After a while, it's like, all right, it's his timeline. Like,
right, it's his now. Give it to him. He has shown us so much that I feel like even if he's not number one guy, he's damn sure number two. He's damn sure a clear-cut number two. And then you get somebody in here, and then you do you pull the Brooklyn Nets.
I'll be right back, Keith. Keep talking.
All right. You pull the Brooklyn Nets, and you tell them, like, You know what I'm saying? Get the talent around. You still have D'Anthony Melton. You still would have Jalen McDaniels. You have a young group that you would keep together, and then you just pull it. You just pull it all together, and then hopefully you entice a fucking superstar that is grunted and to see what you have done and see what you have built, and they want to join the team. It's not that hard. Like, it's not that hard. Of course, I would be pissed. Not pissed, but I would be hurt if Joel left. Of course, like, he's been the guy. He's single-handedly brought basketball back to the city of Philadelphia, so it would hurt. Yes, James not too much. If James would have want to walk and he goes to Houston, cool. Go ahead, bro. Do what you want. Stupid. Doesn't make sense. But if Joel wanted out, it would hurt, but we would understand in the same way. But also, we would never be in that same situation as we were 10 years ago when we didn't have anything. We had nothing but mediocre players, so we only got mediocre things back. If we trade Joel, if Joel doesn't want to be here and we flame out again and we trade Joel, we're going to get back multiple first-round picks. Multiple first-round picks to go along with Tyrese Maxey. And if James walks or James wants to go to a title contender, you could probably sign and trade him. You could trade Tobias Harris. You can do some other stuff with other players that does not fit the timeline. And then just like that, you have a young core that's automatically ready to compete. And I think that's the best thing about this whole situation is, yes, it would be a slowdown. Yes, it would put more things in perspective and like everything would slow down. But at the same time, we would be in a good situation. It wouldn't be terrible. And I think that's what matters. We won't be in the process again. It would never be the process again. As Sean walks up. Sean, you came back at the best possible time because I was just finished my shit. Your mic is muted. So your mic is still muted. I don't know why.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So basically, to wrap up, what I said is, if Joel wanted out and we flamed out, we wouldn't be the process Sixers no more. We're not going in that route. We wouldn't be that. We would probably end up being more so the Nets. Whereas though you still have Tyrese Maxey, you still have D'Anthony Melton, you will have Jalen McDaniels, you have these young guys who would probably go out, show out with more opportunity, and then you might find yourself in a situation where you like start years later when you start getting some of those picks back and the picks that you probably would trade, but that you would get in the trade for Joel. You can find your way being like in that situation where there's players that want to come here, a superstar player that might want to come here that will put you over from being a young team to a competing team.
I think it would be an accelerated process. Yeah,
100%. I mean, like,
it would be an accelerated process.
Not in the sense where when we started the process, when we just let it all go, we had mediocre players. So in return, we were getting back mediocre things. Versus if we're trading the top 5 guy, there's top 5 talent, where young guys is coming back, you know what I'm saying, not to mention the picks, like that would be coming back to us.
Right.
So it would be all of that plus some cap space because you would trade Tobias. There was no need for Tobias. James Harden probably would walk. A lot of guys would leave and disperse, and everybody else would be traded if they didn't fit the timeline. Like that, we would have actually something. When the process started, we had fucking nothing.
That's the genius of Sam Hinkie.
Yeah, we had nothing. Our best player was Tony Roden, Ish Smith, fucking Brandon Davies, JaVale McGee for like a week. Like
Michael Carter Williams for a season.
Yeah, Michael Carter Williams for a season. Like, that was it. That was all we had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once those guys fell out and those guys lost their momentum, we were playing a G League team. We were just calling up guys and trying to throw shit to the wall and see what would stick. Yeah. Robert Covington that's how Robert Covington got here.
You know how many minutes Mac McClung would get on the process Sixers?
He'd be a fucking starter.
He would be
he would
be KJ McDaniels all over again.
KJ McDaniels. He'll be a white KJ McDaniels.
He would be a white KJ McDaniels.
Matter of fact, no, he'll be a black KJ McDaniels.
That's just disrespectful.
No, Mac McClung black, man. I'll give him that.
Black McClung. All right. Let's move on. Why? No, hold on. Wait a second. Now, why isn't Mac McClung getting minutes? Like, at all?
Because Furkan got minutes last night.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
It was publicity stunt, bro. It was legit like, all right, we're going to sign you so you don't have to wear a G League jersey. Bro has worn the Sixers jersey one time, and that was to Duncan. He literally got a jersey number.
That's crazy.
To dunk.
I mean, he got a deal out of it.
He's never played again. He got a Puma deal. He got a fucking Canes chicken deal. Like, he got some shit. Yeah, for sure.
Is he even on the bench?
He made $100,000 in his career. And from winning the dunk contest, he made $100,000.
Yep.
Which is $100,000 what you get for the dunk contest. I see exactly why these motherfuckers don't want to do this shit. I'm not doing nothing. I got to stress. I got to go through all this other shit, training and all this extra shit, and I'm getting $100,000. Bro, I get more than that a game. I mean,
I don't know if they got to go through training. You probably just practice your dunks for a week.
No, I mean saying stressing out. We'll make the cut. We'll do this. Finding something new and unique. I mean, obviously, Simmons didn't give a fuck. He didn't. Yeah. He didn't care. Bro was like, "Give me a 50," and did the most basic fucking dunk ever, and ripped the fucking 50 card. Like, it didn't even say 50. This should give me a 20. That's what it should look like.
Give me a 5. What fucking dunk was.
Give me something, man. That was terrible. That was terrible.
It was bad.
Mac McClung definitely showed out, though.
All right, so let me ask you this question, because we're approaching an hour in, and I have a question that I feel like will spark a discussion that can carry us to the end of this pod. Marquise, who's the GOAT?
Oh man. I mean, there's other stuff we could talk about.
Like, you don't want to answer the question?
Like Ja Morant. That whole
Ja
thing.
Morant. I mean, yeah, we could talk about Ja. Ja is
talk about
the new
GOAT.
Ja is the new Gilbert Arenas.
You know what I mean? That whole situation.
Somebody said it was a conspiracy because they just happened to suspend Ja right before the Lakers game.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean,
no, you know what's crazy?
Know.
The craziest thing about that is the league didn't suspend Ja. The Memphis Grizzlies suspended Ja and hoping that the league wouldn't come down on him because they already would have given him something, right? Yeah. But when guns are involved, obviously he just passed the case. The Colorado police just dismissed this case because there wasn't enough evidence there, so he's not going to be out for as long as they think. But there is still an investigation going on. And the thing that Brian Windhorst said, they didn't start an investigation for the other shit because they never ended an investigation for some other shit he was a part of. So they just added it. It's just a lot. Hopefully Ja comes back a better person because of this shit, because there's only one way to go. There's only one way to go from here. And
I feel like a lot of these young NBA guys now just don't care anymore.
We got to emphasize vets again. Yeah. Bring back vets.
We got to bring back vets, and on top of that, you got to get off social media, bro. Like, you're famous. Like, the Gilbert Arenas thing was the biggest scandal. The Gilbert Arenas thing, the Kobe thing, and Allen Iverson's mixtape. Like, those were the biggest things that I remember, like, biggest controversies off the court that I remember seeing or experiencing as like a young NBA fan, where I was just like, oh my God, so-and-so did what? Or said what? Like, that was the biggest thing. But now it's like, oh my God, like the Hornets by themselves,
right?
A 30 for 30 on just the dumb shit that they do outside of basketball.
These last couple, this is literally what the start of this season. We were like, so much has been taken away from the game because of the outside shit. It is still happening.
Yep.
Ime Udoka seems like it would happen 2 fucking years ago.
Bro, it was forever ago.
Shit. Because it's been shit after shit after shit after shit after. Like, they're entering NFL level. This is NFL level of fuckery. Like, this is NFL level.
For real. That's 100% true. And I think it's weird because the NFL, you can say, like, all right, well, the teams are so fucking big. Obviously, you got guys that are making this money that nobody really knows about. So they go out and do some dumb shit. And they're not in the news until, like, they're not. Nobody talks about them until they do something wrong. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it's, Seahawks player so-and-so assault somebody. But it's like with the NBA, there's only 15 guys. We see all of you.
This motherfucker literally killed a man and played a full fucking season. It's not funny that he killed a man. It's just the simple fact.
The fact that he
played an entire season.
Yeah, exactly. But with the NBA, it's like you can't get away with shit like that. Like that. I mean, Aaron didn't get away with it either. But I'm saying, like, you can't skirt by that long before somebody notices or somebody says something. There's only 15 guys. We see you. Even if you're not the best player, we still see you. We know who you are.
Especially Sixers. There's nobody on the fucking Sixers that can get away with shit. Because as Philly fans, we know everybody 1 through fucking 15.
Exactly.
Like, we talk about them. Like, you know
exactly.
What I mean?
And on top of that, the vets are closer. Because there's only 15 guys, like, you see your vets often. Whereas in the NFL and football, is like it's a lot more divided. Like, you have the quarterback room, the linebacker room, the defensive back room. Like, you have all these different rooms where guys are kind of separated. And even in practice, you're breaking up and working on different things. So it's like you don't really even see your vets that often unless you have a vet who's in the same category as you. But if you got a young receiving core and there's, like, no veteran receivers, you might be just a bunch of young niggas with money hanging out all day, like, with no older guys.
And the new, what was it called? The bargaining agreement. NBA is putting in that vets have to be part of teams. Like, no longer will it be just a whole bunch of 18-year-olds. And not because that was talked about. I don't know if it was agreed upon, but I know it was talked about. And when a situation like this happened, that shit's about to get approved. Like, there's no way that shit doesn't get approved now. And it's like also when like this like pushes back the NBA on potentially letting high school guys get in. This could fuck them up because it's like, oh shit, we don't know because everybody's with the social media shit. Everybody thinks that they are who they think, are who they want to be or who they want to portray to be. Fuck no, we're not. No, we're not going to give a 18-year-old, a 17-year-old who's not going to turn 18 until fucking the season start. I'm not about to give him $20 million.
Yeah.
And there's with no financial advisor, with no nothing, who came from nothing, who hasn't seen that money. I'm not going to give him that type of money.
Yeah.
When I see somebody who went to 2 years of college, do some dumb shit like this, like that damn near fucking, and that's what Stephen A. was alluding to. You're not just fucking it up for you; you're fucking it up for everybody else.
Yeah.
This one thing could hinder every conversation the NBA could be trying to do to push that shit. That could fuck everything up.
The only pushback that they could possibly have is that now, because of social media, these high school players have just as much of a following coming out of high school as some of these college guys do. Like, they're already exposed to it regardless of how old they are. That's the only argument that they could make. But even then, you could say, well, yeah, but they don't have the money yet. They're like, those guys, even though they're already famous, sort of, they don't have the money to go out and buy guns to flash on Instagram Live. Like, or they're so focused on trying to get to the NBA, they don't have the time to even do that. So it's like, yeah, they're famous, but they're famous for playing basketball.
The Brandon Miller situation. I don't know if you know who Brandon Miller is, from Alabama. He's in some shit involving a gun because his teammate killed a woman, and they're trying to say that he gave him the gun. You know what I mean? The way they worded it was kind of weird because I don't know if he brought the gun specifically for him or he gave him his gun. The way they worded it was stupid because one is worse than the other. One is definitely worse than the other.
Well, either way, it's still it was still falling to him because he's the owner. So if you didn't report it stolen, no matter who has it, if you didn't report it stolen, then that is your responsibility.
Right. But obviously the case has been with that dismissed, His part of it. So far, so they're saying that he's not going to be hindered. Obviously, he's supposed to be like a top 5 pick coming into this draft. But like that's something that's going to sit with him his whole career. Like that's going to be, no matter where you're at in life, people are always going to bring up that situation. Like even with Kobe. Kobe literally just died, and you got people bringing up the shit that happened in fucking Denver. Like, he literally just died. Oh, but you're going to cheer for him, but what happened in... Like, it's like, that shit is going to sit for you. Like, he has to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Allen Iverson. For that shit. Yeah,
same thing with Allen Iverson. Years into his career, he went to prison. He went to jail. It's like, wait, bro, that was when he was like 16, 17 years old. His friends got into a fight at a bowling alley, and he got the blame because he was the biggest name. It's like, you can't keep bringing it up. Like, but they will. That's the thing. They definitely will. They'll never forget. Sure. So, with all that being said, who's the GOAT?
We can also talk about other things. Like,
no, answer the question. I'm genuinely curious.
Kevin Durant getting injured in a shoot around, or Kendrick Perkins saying that white people are
you just making shit up now.
No, this is legit a thing. It's legit was a topic because he said that white people have won MVPs that they shouldn't have. Yeah.
Is he talking about Jokic?
He was talking about Jokic, and he was talking about Steve Nash. You couldn't be talking about Dirk because Dirk deserved that shit that year.
Yeah, and Larry.
So it has to be Steve Nash, and then the NBA came out and made
all the white
first
MVPs we know.
That's about it.
I feel like there's definitely
Jerry
more.
West probably won one, possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think other than that, I don't think
Bob Cousy, maybe.
Doing this shit like I'm a bitch or something.
Marquise, who's the GOAT?
My GOAT? Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
No, who the GOAT?
The GOAT of everything?
No, basketball.
Of basketball.
Yes.
I'm going with. Hey, might think I'm crazy. I'm going with Elliot Williams. Elliot Williams is the GOAT of basketball.
NBA basketball.
Player. Okay. No, for sure. It is Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Okay. I'm always curious to ask people this. I feel like it's kind of a generational thing sometimes. A lot of younger people say LeBron. A lot of people our age and our age, in their 20s or older, will say Jordan. Some people say Kobe. I feel like that's kind of a cultural thing too. Some people say...
I love Kobe. I mean, if I had to pick one, I would pick Kobe. Probably just because what Kobe means to me.
And it's hard to judge.
But I also throw that in when people go that Michael Jordan and LeBron are 1 and 2, and people don't put Kobe in their top 10. But it's also like Kobe got his game and, basically mirrored what Jordan did and did a very fucking good job doing it. Probably the best thing that you could have come to playing like Jordan. And he's not considered in the top 5, which is fucking crazy.
But not only that, but without Jordan's body. Like,
also,
that's the thing. People underestimate the value of Jordan's just sheer physical abilities in his game. Like, he had a tremendous game. He had the skills, but he also had ginormous hands. He had an incredible vertical leap. He was 6'6", built. Like, he was fast as fuck. Like, he was an amazing athlete with physical tools. Kobe was an inch shorter, about 15 pounds lighter, even at his heaviest, with smaller hands, not quite as athletic, like still very athletic. He won a dunk contest, but he doesn't have like one of the most iconic dunks of all time. Nobody called him Air Kobe. Like the fact that he was able to do what he did when he wasn't as physically gifted as Mike.
But the thing about it, right? You said he was an inch shorter. I look up that they're the same height. Think about it though.
What? I thought Mike was listed as 6'6" and Kobe was listed as 6'5". Kobe said he was 6'5". They probably had him listed as 6'6". Yeah, maybe. This
is what I'm saying. think about it. Just think about this shit. Two of the best shooting guards of all time. They're 1 and 2. Shooting guards. They're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Both 6'6". Both were mid-range killers.
Yep.
Both had athleticism. Both could play defense.
Yep.
Both three-peated.
Yep.
Both. No, I can't say that. Kobe lost his number 2 and still found a way to get 2 others.
I mean,
so
I mean, some people say Kobe was the number 2. It's tough. 1A and 1B.
Shit. Like Kobe, obviously we would never get a consistent list of ranking the top players because everybody has their biases. You got people from the 80s going, oh, well, Larry has to be there, or Isaiah Thomas has to be there. You know what I'm saying? From each generation, someone would get left off just because we didn't get to see them in that time.
Yeah.
To play at that time. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would throw Giannis in this list, would throw people in the top 100. Top 100. People want to throw Giannis in there. But then there's players who go, Giannis would just be a regular guy and argue, you know what I'm saying?
Which is false.
The bias of it all is all in the time and the generation that you were brought up in. So, the list, I would love to see, a list. Just, a whole bunch of people get together, qualified people. I would say qualified people get together and make a list of the top, not the top 100, top 50, top 25 players to ever play. And I just want to see what would they do? Because Kareem could literally say he's the best of all time, and you look at his resume and
that's who I think is the GOAT. I think Kareem is the GOAT. I think Kareem's the GOAT. I think if you're going by resume and you're unbiased, Kareem has that resume.
100%.
He has just as many rings as Jordan. He doesn't have as many Finals MVPs. He only has 2, but he has 6 MVPs, league MVPs, 19-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year. He's got, and on top of that, you got to remember the sheer. This is what people underestimate, right? Everybody knows that Kareem held the record for the most all-time points, right? Here's what people underestimate. He held the record for 44 years. He held the record for 44 years. That's the amount of players that have come and gone in that time. Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Michael Jordan. Some of the greatest scorers of all time have not come close. LeBron is only there because he's played 20 years plus. But on top of that, you also have to consider the fact that Kareem. But you also have to consider the fact that Kareem, in his entire career, made 1 3. He was the all-time leader in points.
With 1 3.
With 1 3-pointer made. And he held that record for 44 years. LeBron just broke it. And you know how many threes LeBron has hit? How many free throws?
LeBron is top 10 in 3 points made.
Exactly.
Not because he's a great 3-point shooter, just because he's been in the league forever.
Exactly.
And sooner or later, you got to get up some list.
Exactly. And he's just now in year 20, 20, passing Kareem. And you can argue, he's still putting up 40 points and doing all this stuff. And it's he's got time to, stretch that lead out quite a bit. But at the same time, he's doing it with threes. If you take away all of LeBron's threes but 1, where is he on this list? He's probably still below Karl Malone.
He's not 30,000, I'll tell you right now.
He's probably still below Karl.
No,
that's crazy. In my opinion, that's crazy.
If you take away his threes, LeBron is not 30,000 club.
No.
He's not there.
Not at all. To me, that's what makes what Kareem did so amazing. He hit 1 3, Marquise, in his entire career, and he led the league in total points for 44 years. People have lived and died and not even seen, like been born and died, and not even seen anybody else score more points than Kareem. That's crazy.
That's fucking, I don't know. That's a thing, though. Like, that's the thing about this shit. I don't want to bring this is the part of the GOAT debate. This is the thing. Where Jordan could have placed if he did not take those 2 years off.
I mean, sure. See, that's what bothers me a little bit about the Jordan argument, is that it always comes down to what if he didn't take the 2 years off? What if he won 8 in a row?
Because
but it's like, he probably would have, but he didn't.
But yeah, that's the situation where it's like, it was one of the coldest things anybody could ever say they did. Whereas, like, literally, I was so good at the game, didn't see competition, I left it. Played baseball, didn't like it, came back and won 3 more.
But that wasn't even why he left. He left because his dad died and he was sad and he wanted to play baseball because that was his dad's dream, was to see him play baseball. And he also loved baseball.
This is the thing. He stopped playing basketball for 2 years. And then came back and picked up where he left off. I mean, not that little 17-game thing when he first came back and he was number 45. But, like, who can really say I took a break and came back like I never fucking left?
I mean, listen, it was, and not only that, even his time with the Wizards, underrated.
Right, it was still All-Star then.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the only reason he was with the Wizards because they told him he was going to have, like, a partial ownership of the team.
Yeah.
It's the only reason he was there.
And I feel like with LeBron, you can just say longevity. Like, we've never 100%. Seen anybody be this good for this long, except maybe Kareem. But it's like, to be nearing 40 and you're dropping 40 consistently.
But this is the thing. This is what I would pose to you, right? Somebody's going to beat that. I wholeheartedly.
I don't know.
Someone is going to beat that.
Oh, you mean like at some point? I thought you mean like somebody who's in the league right now.
Somebody in the league right now is going to beat that.
No.
I believe it.
The points?
With the way scoring is right now, with the way the points are right now, fucking DeMar DeRozan's averaging 30.
No.
You know what I mean?
DeMar DeRozan will never beat it.
No, I'm not talking about like DeMar. I'm talking about like a Luka Doncic.
He's still not going to beat it.
Luka's averaging 33. He's only in his 4th year.
I'll tell you why. Luka, well, actually, if anybody could beat it, it would be Luka. If anybody could beat it, it would be Luka. Because Luka's
it's too late for Curry. It's too late for Kevin.
Yeah.
It's too late for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, it's too late for Joel.
It's been too late. Once he fucking missed those first 2 seasons, it was kind of over. Yeah. But
Luka's game is a game that can age well. That's why I think Luka can do it. But even then, Luka has to want to do it. Does Luka want to play 20 years in the NBA? He's already been playing professional basketball since he was 14. That's the thing. That's why it's hard to beat these kinds of records. It's because it's not just about the scoring output. It's also the years. Like, do you want to be a 20-year player? Like, Kobe played 20 years and still couldn't come close because he missed so much time and because he wasn't scoring that much in his first couple seasons. So it's like you have to be able to like be an amazing scorer, but also to keep that energy and to keep that drive and that consistency for over like 1.5 decades at least.
I look at Luka and I go, he's going to be 30,000 easy.
Sure,
well, he's not going to.
I don't know if he'll break the record.
Easy.
I don't know if he'll break the record though.
Like, no, I'm just saying it. I mean, I'm putting everything in perspective. Whereas though, points now. Like, anybody can average 30. Like, I wouldn't be surprised Anthony Edwards next year just averaged 30. Like,
I would.
I don't think I would, because I think it's time to trade Cat. But, like, that's just me.
Might have been
time to
trade Cat, but, you know, whatever.
I've been saying that for a little bit.
Been that way for a while. Perhaps.
Time to trade him. Give Anthony Edwards the keys. You kind of fucked. And then they might be in another Luka Doncic situation.
Yeah.
Like, the Timberwolves might find themselves because they traded all those fucking picks for Rudy Gobert. And you're not going to get those shits back. You're not getting those back unless you trade Cat.
I don't even know if you get them for Cat.
No, this is the whole thing. You're not even going to get 5 first-round picks for trading Cat. Nobody's going to do that shit. They've seen that shit, and that shit was stupid in the time that did it. Yeah. People understood it, but it still was fucking stupid. Yeah. It still was stupid. Just like the Tobias Harris contract. We understood it, but it was fucking stupid. Yeah. It was stupid. It was so stupid. I'm still mad about that, Sean.
Me too. Tobias Harris and Al Horford. I'm mad about both. Even though we're already off of Al Horford, I'm still mad about it.
I'm still mad
because of what could have been.
I'm still mad he saw the contract.
I'm still mad at it because of what could have been. We could have, for that amount of money, we could have brought back JJ and more.
Think about this,
I'm still pissed about it.
If Tobias Harris is making $25 million a year, where I feel like that's Tobias' money, $25 million. He was the second option. Yeah. Offensively, I should say. Second option. That was good Tobias Harris money. $25 million is good Tobias Harris money. He's going to get paid, Sean, $40 million next year. Yep. That's 20 plus 20, Sean. Yep. Bro, that's 15 plus a number. Because I didn't think about it. Think about that. Yeah, 25. Bro, 15 plus 25. Yeah. That's 10 times 4. $40 million.
Yeah, it sure is.
Because you got scared. Because you got scared, Sean.
It's also $160 million times 0.25.
Sure, Sean. Sure. Sure.
You're like, you might have just made that up, but okay.
Okay.
I don't have the mental capacity to argue.
Right.
I don't
have it, and I don't have it, and it's like it's adding to my point. So fuck it, let it go.
It sounds like you agree, so sure.
Right. Let's keep it moving.
Man.
Can you imagine if he's just now getting paid like 30, just because of the bird right? So that 7% raise every year. Like he's just now making like the 32 is shit. Cool, bro.
I don't think that would matter all that much because that would just mean all that money goes to Harden when he renegotiates.
Sure.
Last offseason, instead of Harden taking a team-friendly deal, he would have just took whatever he wanted, and we probably would have still got PJ Tucker because Tobias was making so much less.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
the team wouldn't be different, but we would. I don't know. We'd be paying the player who deserves it more. I don't know. Actually, here's what I'll say. If that was the case, it might be easier to move Tobias Harris.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
At the very least.
Thing, I've always said this shit. I've always said it. There was never the only point to move Tobias Harris was to get off his contract.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to trade Tobias Harris.
Yep.
Because we've both said you're trading Tobias Harris
and then
to
try
go
to find
get Tobias Harris.
Yep.
Right. Like, and obviously there are better guys at his value, at his level.
Yeah.
That
Pascal.
will fit this team. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about guys who are under what he's even when he's going to make his next contract. Guys who are under that.
Yeah.
Like Bojan Marjanovic with Detroit. Under what Tobias Harris would be making. But him on the Sixers, standing in the corner, not dribbling, not trying to figure some shit out. A guy with a fucking who never seen a bad shot in his life. True. A George Niang who was solid defensively, works on his team. Like, all the Sixers need is guys that could get up their shots fast. That's it. That's all we needed was guys, when we give you the ball, take the shot. Yeah. Tobias Harris still likes to dribble.
Robert Covington.
Fucking Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum, no matter where you give him the ball, will shoot that shit. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a shooting pocket, Sean. Anywhere he catches the ball is how he's going to shoot that shit. If he catches the ball over here, god damn it, he's shooting it from right there. Like he is the ultimate catch and shoot guy.
Yep.
Anywhere he catches the ball. Tobias Harris, like, as much as Tobias Harris has moved and molded his game to fit this team, Tobias Harris will never be that.
Because he's got too much scorer in him.
Right? It's just not even who he is. Like, as much as he is adjusted, that Tobias Harris is still in there.
Yeah. You can see it. He wants to get in the post so bad.
And that's why
he's like, and I feel bad for him because sometimes he gets matchups where it's just like, I understand.
He should have it. Yeah.
I understand.
You going against Royce O'Neal?
Impact. I understand the impact that Joel has offensively. I understand the impact that James Harden has offensively. But just look at the defense that they're giving Tobias right now. Like, and it's not even that they don't have faith in him, because I feel like they do, but it's just like they're so used to just using him as like a last resort that it's just like, hey, how about try just running a play for him?
Right.
Like,
Sean, this is why
I think they won't expect that.
This is why when I wanted to trade Tobias, right? This is why when I went on my whole thing to trade Tobias, this is why I wanted to trade Tobias. I never wanted to trade Tobias because I didn't like him or I didn't like the player. I just didn't think that they could use him the way he should be used.
Yeah.
Whereas though, like, if you start using Tobias Harris heavy, that throws off everybody's fucking game plan because most people just forget about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like down the stretch, like when we start getting towards, like you said, these last like dog days at the end of the season, that's Tobias Harris time. Yeah.
And like, think about it. What if this entire time we were bringing the wrong person off the bench?
Ooh. Well, that's a good question, but I just don't know. I don't know who you would replace him with.
Jaden McDaniels.
Okay.
Because you don't lose nothing defensively.
Okay.
Actually, you probably gain stuff defensively. And Jaden McDaniels is catch and shoot. And he gets rebounds.
Interesting. But
then
you run into the same issue that people had with Al Horford, where it's like you're paying this much money for a backup.
But this is the thing. If it results, well, also we never got to see that in the playoffs. We never got to see Al Horford as a backup center in the playoffs because Ben Simmons got out and they had to put him in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But Tobias Harris game is made. He is a bucket getter. He will be able to be in the post. He can facilitate. Let's not forget in that playoff series with Ben Simmons get down, he was averaging like 7 assists a game. So he has that in him. So if you let Tobias Harris hunt, this is you. Go do this. And I already said Tyrese Maxey is better in the starting lineup. If you take out a formidable scorer and put in an energy guy like Jaden McDaniels who can shoot threes, who can rebound and stuff like that, and you have off the bench DeAnthony Melton, Shake Milton, you let Shake Milton become Shake Milton again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it opens up so much because now Tobias Harris can go play in the post.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't we been trying Tobias Harris at fucking back at 5? Why haven't we been trying, like there's so many things that you can now try.
Yeah.
If you try that. And obviously people might look at you crazy because there's $30 million coming off the bench.
See, that's
just a whole new look.
This is why I feel like if Dwayne Dedmon can come back and be Dwayne Dedmon, that lineup of Dwayne Dedmon, Tobias Harris, DeAnthony Melton, maybe George Niang, and Shake off the bench, that's an amazing bench unit. That's a well-balanced
rebounding,
defense. Like,
shooting.
You have everything.
Like
that's
like,
the best
you know
start.
I mean?
That's the best backup lineup we would have ever had.
And it's also to the point where it's like, can Doc pull some shit like that off? Like, we can't lie. Like, Doc Rivers as a coach, the reason they got him, Doc Rivers' coach, his resume, and what he has done got him this job. But in the reality, they got this shit. They got him because you had Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris was getting left in the background.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we get Doc, who's a great coach. He put Joel in right positions and stuff like that. But also, he can reintroduce Tobias Harris. Now, in a situation where he can't use Tobias Harris the same way, which means Tobias Harris is not getting used the same way, and he's kind of just fourth option, kick it to me when you need a 3 type guy.
Yeah.
And even then, like you said, he has a scorer's mentality, so he pump, fake, and then drive. Yeah. And they get lost because they come over, the help defender come over, and he stops. Now he has to put it back out and then do the whole thing and get over.
He has to kick it out, and it's like, bro, you were the kick out.
Right. You were the play.
Yeah. Stop trying to score or get assists. Just shoot.
Right. So that I would just like to see it. I just want to see it. I just want to see it because like that could open so much. That could open so much, bro.
Yeah. And he's a great he can be. See, the thing about it is, the thing that I always, the one knock that I had against Tyrese being a 6-man is that he's not a particularly great one-on-one scorer. His handle is not what it needs to be a great one-on-one scorer on the perimeter. Even if it is as a 6-man, that's why Lou Williams is the best 6-man of all time. That's why, fucking what's his name in Utah? Jordan Clarkson, Jamal Crawford. Yeah, like that's why they were some like of the best 6-men of all time, was because they had the handle to be distributors and scorers and to make that decision on the fly. Whereas Tyrese is like, I'm a scorer, but particularly I'm a downhill scorer. So Tobias in that position,
unless he gets hot from 3.
Yeah, unless he gets hot from 3. But even then, it's mostly catch and shoot or like one dribble, step back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not moves. It's not like Harden. What Harden does, like I'm a sort of hit you with some different moves and then create space.
Right. He's more so boom, and it's there.
Yeah, it's explosive. It's a one dribble, quick move or whatever. But Tobias has the game. He has the bag to do that in the post or on the perimeter. And there's not too many guys who are big enough and fast enough and agile enough to stay in front of him when he's hot.
That could honestly, that can be a shift in a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, added him to that, letting him play free.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris could possibly be better than Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Just off what you said alone. You could post him up, and then if Dwayne Dedmon come back, you could have them 5 out. You have 4 out, 1 in, and him just posting up. You can literally recreate your offense with Joel in, put Tobias Harris there, and have him facilitate, have people cut, the Anthony Mountain cut.
Have him bring the ball up the floor.
Right. There is so much that you could do there.
You could literally play Tobias Harris the way everybody wished Ben Simmons would play.
Right. And then he could still shoot. You could literally have 5 out.
Yeah.
5 out.
He's literally what we wanted Ben Simmons to become.
Right. Shit, bro. Come on.
There's no reason why. See, and it's kind of like I feel the same way about a guy like Drew Holiday. Like Drew Holiday has always been an amazing player, and the players have known it. But for whatever reason, he just doesn't get the media attention. I feel like Tobias Harris has had moments where he was on a Paul George level. Like it's been moments, has been brief moments, but it's like the opportunity just doesn't present itself for Tobias the way it does for other guys because he's never been recognized as that kind of guy. So it's like they don't bring him in to be that, even though he could.
I just pointed this out to you, and it really took you back for you to go, oh, shit. I'm 22 years old. Doc Rivers has been coaching longer than I have been alive, and I just brought some shit to the table that he will never fucking do.
You know why? You know why?
He will never fucking do.
Because you're 22 years old, and Doc Rivers doesn't listen to 22-year-olds.
He doesn't. He doesn't play them, too.
He doesn't.
Unless you're Tyrese Maxey.
They are irrelevant to him. Unless your name is Tyrese Maxey, he does not give a fuck.
I'm gonna go to
unless your name is Tyrese Maxey or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Rajon Rondo, he does not give a fuck what your young ass has to say.
I'm telling you, we're going to the Sixers facility. We're going to the shit. We're going to it. We're going to
Yo, we should vlog that. We should literally just make signs, go to the Sixers facility, and hold them up outside the practice facility while they're coming into practice. I don't know if we'll get close enough for them to see us, but we should do it. We should do it, and we should vlog it, and we should put it on the site. I'm going to fucking do it.
Go to Camden.
Yep, like, I'm going to go to Camden.
The facility is gated, but like outside of it, you can still get it.
Yep. I'm going to just be by the gate. As people are driving up, holding up a sign. Tobias for 6th man. Let him cook. That's all it's going to say.
Let him cook. I'm going to have a paragraph of why.
Yeah. My sign is the eye catcher to make you stop. Your sign is like, all right, now you stopped. Now listen to this.
This is how. And I have plays.
Exactly.
Like, you know how they when they're reading, like, in the audience, and they're reading the shit, and they switch the cards. It's just going to be me switching plays. Different plays you can run.
Different plays. Just X's and O's.
I know you don't know what these look like, but these are plays.
Yeah. Like, and then it's just like an arrow with one pointing to one of the X's, and it says, "This is Tobias."
Right, this is Tobias.
This is George. This is Dwayne.
Damn. Kevin Durant will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh! And apparently Lonzo Ball has had another is going to require another surgery on his knee that could have him out for the rest of the season again.
Yeah, they said it could be damn near a half of next season, half not all of next year. That's what 3 years without Lonzo. Yep.
And it's crazy because
like his contract got to be over. Like, what the fuck?
It sucks because Lonzo actually was a huge part of them 100%. Having that initial success. Lonzo and Caruso, their injuries really threw that whole situation off track.
100%.
Because the Bulls were nice for a while. They had the perfect team. Robert Williams, Caruso, and
Robert Williams.
Oh God.
He plays for the Celtics. Come on. Starts with a P.
Patrick Williams, Lonzo, and
Caruso.
About to
say Patrick Williams, LaMelo, LeVar,
and Caruso getting injured is like really kind of derailed the Bulls' future. Not even just their season, their future. They were never really able to recover, which is crazy because they have 2 of those 3 guys back. I feel bad.
Because like Lonzo's only 25, bro.
I know.
And people are starting to compare it, and I don't like to see it, but they're trying to compare it to Brandon Roy's situation, which unfortunately ended his career.
It's not as bad because Brandon was a star.
I mean,
like
in a sense that like he's potentially not going to be back on a court, like.
Yeah. But Brandon was like Brandon had GOAT potential. Not GOAT, but like Brandon had like see, here's the thing. When Lonzo
Brandon Roy was just literally Damian Lillard before Damian Lillard.
Right, but bigger.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. And it's kind of a similar situation but just to a different degree. The Bulls were really hot and then Lonzo got injured and you know, the Bulls were like a really, really good team. They were I think number 1 in the East for a while. The Trailblazers, bro, that one season, they had one season where Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Greg Oden all played. They had one season. That season they won 60 games. I don't know if there's a bigger what could have been than if those guys stayed healthy. Like that's crazy. Or no, I think they won like 56 or 57 games. It was close to 60.
You said like what? What year was this?
Let me see. It was literally the only year where they all played like most of the season. Let me see.
I got it. Keep talking.
All right, but like I was saying, I don't know if there's a bigger what could have been as far as like injuries go. Than that like. That team, the Bulls was like they were good, but it was early in the season. There's really not any way of knowing how things would have actually panned out once other teams started to get healthy and kind of figure things out. But the Trailblazers, like they had a full season where they were just dominant with those 3 guys, and then like just injuries just derailed their entire future to the point that they were able to get like Damian Lillard with the number 1 pick relatively quickly. Like, they still had LaMarcus Aldridge on the team. He was older, but...
Yeah, and that worked out. They had Nicholas Batum.
Yeah.
Wesley Matthews. Who else am I forgetting? Damian, Wesley Matthews. There was somebody else. Oh, Robin Lopez.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's crazy. I think that and, like, what if Melo got drafted to the Pistons are, like, two of the biggest what ifs.
Shit, what if AI got help?
Yeah. Oh my God. So by the way, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the podcast, but there was a guy on YouTube named Mike Korzemba who used to do like what if videos.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I don't even think it was Mike who did it, but it was somebody did a what if video for what if the Sixers drafted Dirk. Because remember, in 1997, I believe it was,
or got drafted by the Bucks.
1998.
Mm-hmm.
The Sixers passed on Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce.
And was that Jerry Stackhouse?
No, Larry Hughes.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. We got Stackhouse the year before AI.
Okay, yeah.
The year 1998 was the year we passed on Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce and drafted Larry Hughes, another shooting guard, by the way, when we already had AI and Stackhouse. But that year, somebody did a what if video of like, what if the Sixers drafted Dirk instead? Bro, we ended up with like 5 championships. AI had like
you couldn't
4
stop
MVPs.
That. There's
can't.
nothing you could do to stop that.
Bro,
like AI could literally go 1-on-1 and Dirk would just be splashing threes.
Bro, what made it incredible was the fact that they were both so young. Because remember, AI got drafted at like 20. So 98, he was 22.
I think.
Huh?
21.
What'd you say? 21.
21. He had 2 years at Georgetown.
And he missed a year because he was in prison. But so, but AI would have been. So at that point, he would have been 20. I think he was 23. Dirk would have been 21 or 20.
Uh-huh.
So they were literally 2 stars on the same timeline. So like they literally peaked at the same time. I think we still, in that what if video, we still lost to the Lakers in 2001, but then we like beat them like the next 2 times in a row in 2002 and 2003. So the Lakers would not have three-peated.
Kill it.
Instead of the Lakers three-peat, it would have been Lakers and then Sixers back-to-back. It was crazy. It was like the craziest scenario. And then Paul Pierce ends up, I think, with the Mavericks instead or something like that.
They don't win the
I gotta
championship
find
if
it.
Paul Pierce get there.
Huh?
they don't win that championship if Paul Pierce is there.
No. I don't think
Paul
so.
Pierce is a worse version of Carmelo Anthony, but he has a championship.
Wow. Yeah. Carmelo's a little bigger, though, isn't he?
I think they say size 6'7". I think how tall is Carmelo?
No, Carmelo's the same height as LeBron.
Melo is 6'7", 238. Same, and it's prime weight too.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Let me see.
Good.
I'm trying to find this year. Where's Basketball Reference? Here we go.
Carmelo Anthony is still not on the NBA team.
I know. I mean, at this point,
this is over.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. 19 years. 19 years, man. Crazy. Like obviously it's already like a league without Carmelo, but like it's weird. It's not as weird as it's going to be with like a league without LeBron, like it was a league without Kobe, because those were the best guys.
Yeah.
And now, normally there's a clear-cut best guy. I mean, I guess you go Giannis, but at the end of the day, people would argue people are better than him.
Yeah, people might argue Jokic.
Right. There's no clear-cut best guy. Because literally,
I've seen Shannon Sharp the other day say Embiid. Like,
it was Jordan. It could go Jordan. It went from Jordan to Kobe, Kobe to LeBron, and LeBron.
Jordan to Shaq. Jordan to Shaq.
Shaq was drafted in 93.
Huh?
By the end of their prime run, their last championship was in 98, right?
Who? Jordan?
The Jordan. That was the last championship?
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan, Shaq, Kobe. Like, damn, Shaq had like the least amount of time being the best player.
He did, because remember when the problem was Shaq spent so much time in Orlando that when he came to L.A., he was in the middle of his prime by the time he got to L.A. It was kind of like Dwight Howard.
He was only there for like 4 years, right?
Where, Orlando?
Yeah.
No, he was there longer than that.
I swear he was only there 4 years. Yeah, he was only there for, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 years.
Really? Wait, how long was he in? Well, he was only in L.A. for
8 years. He was in L.A. for 8 years.
No, I'm saying by the time, because Shaq, excuse me, I think Shaq, the problem was the NBA. Like, Shaq's physical and his weight. Like, Shaq's physical prime was those years in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
When he got to Miami, those were the last days of his physical prime. Because after that, his weight started to catch up to him, and he started to get injured a lot more often. So, really, Dwayne Wade was the best team on that best player on that Miami team.
Shaq was still making All-Star games. Damn.
Oh, for sure.
No, because like he took like it was like a 2006, 2007, and there was like 2007, 2008, and then 2008, 2009 was his last All-Star game, and then he ended up retiring with the Celtics.
Yeah. He was still making All-Star games. He was still good enough to make All-Star games, but the problem was he was so expensive and he barely played.
He was 18.
Not barely played, but he didn't play nearly as much as he used to.
But it's crazy because like the year he made the All-Star game, he played 75 games.
But the minutes, how many minutes did he play per game?
30. Shooting 60%.
Of course, it's Shaq.
His best year at the free throw line. He was only averaging like 18 and 8.
Yeah,
but still,
his physical prime.
Shaq,
his physical prime had passed. By the time he got to Miami, he was already declining. That was the reason why the Lakers let him go. They were like, "Look, you're getting older. You're not doing what you used to do. Like, you're still amazing, but you're not the guy you once were. We can't justify paying you all this money, especially when we got to pay Kobe now." So that was why they let him go in the first place. So it was like, that's why it was so brief. That was why it was so brief why Shaq was the best player, because when he was in Orlando, when he was super amazing, it was still Jordan's time. But then when Jordan retired, you had Shaq and the Lakers, and Shaq was in his physical prime, but...
Oh, so he retired. Okay. The second time.
Yeah. So it was... That's why it was so brief.
You got to specify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, specify.
I mean, and then on top of that, you had other bigs that were starting to come up that were giving Shaq a run for his money, too, where you couldn't... There was a time where you couldn't even say... Even when Shaq was still great, you weren't even 100% sure you could say Shaq was the best big in the league. Because you had guys like Dirk and Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett who were doing...
Young Dwight Howard.
Yeah, young Dwight Howard, who were doing, like, crazy shit. So that's why that time period of him being the best was so short-lived.
Is Shaq top 10 all time?
That's tough. Is he top 10 all time? I would say so.
Yeah, I would say so, too.
Here's my top 10 all time, and this is not in any particular order. MJ, Kareem, Magic, Larry, Kobe, LeBron, Steph. Okay, because I feel like, goddamn it, people be disrespecting Steph because they don't like threes. Hakeem. And then I would say Oscar Robertson. And then that 10th spot is kind of like up in the air. So I would say Shaq. Did I say Shaq already? No, right? No, so. I would say Shaq. But that 10th spot is the spot that a lot of people debate.
The motherfuckers born in the 70s not going to like that.
I know.
There's no Bill Russell. There's no Will Chamberlain.
I gave him Kareem, Larry, and Magic.
You're not going to like it.
And Oscar.
I don't know if I'm putting Oscar in my top 10.
I think I have to. I think you have to.
If you put Oscar in your top 10, I mean, I guess he did it first, so I guess.
And on top of that, remember, Oscar was he was historically good, but he was also part of the reason why, because Kareem didn't win shit before Oscar. Like, that championship in Milwaukee was, you can give it to Oscar almost as much as you could Kareem.
Damn, they didn't count a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking through his shit, like, they didn't count blocks.
For who?
They didn't count blocks. The first year they counted blocks was 73.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't count steals until 73.
Oh, by the way, for Kareem, when we were talking about the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar led the league in blocks 4 times.
Michael Jordan is one of 3 guards who won Defensive Player of the Year.
Kareem's 11-time All-Defense.
Michael Jordan has an award named after him.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like pulling hairs at this point.
It's like, I guess that's an accomplishment.
Wait, you said Kareem, right? Kareem has no.
Bill
you
Russell
think they will
does.
ever change the? Yeah, no. Bill Russell does. No, Michael Jordan does have an award. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Yeah, East and West
has an award. Hakeem has an award.
Wait, Bill Russell is the Finals MVP award, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the Finals MVP. Larry, and Magic just got theirs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Conference Finals MVP.
The playoff MVP. No, wait. Yeah, no.
There's no such thing as playoff MVP. You talking about the Conference Finals?
It's just Conference Finals, right?
No, it's the Larry Bird.
Yeah, that's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
The MVP, yeah.
They're just Conference Finals and then Finals MVPs.
I think Hakeem is the Hakeem Olajuwon Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
No, they renamed it. What's all the names? NBA awards. They look fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Other than the
only 2 that are new are the 2 conference trophies.
No, I mean like I'm talking the trophy design. I should say. I'm sorry.
There's only 2 new ones. The others are all the same. The Defensive Player of the Year one's the same.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's not the dude in the defensive stance anymore.
Mm-mm. They changed
it.
They changed it. It's fucking ugly.
Well, the Finals MVP trophy and the championship trophy are the same.
Like, this is the Defensive Player of the Year. This is the Rookie of the Year one. Okay, hold up. Let me see. I'm going after 11.
Oh.
The Will Chamberlain Rookie of the Year. John Havlicek, 6th Man of the Year. They all look the fucking same. George Mikan, Most Improved Player. Not yet, bitch. Not yet. Okay? There's more. Like, the MVP is the only one that looks good. Mm. And I think oh yeah, here it is. My fault. I scrolled down too far. It's the Michael Jordan MVP.
League MVP?
Yeah, league MVP.
Oh, okay.
Like, this looks like the best one out of all of them. Clutch Player of the Year was added. That's New World. Hakeem Olajuwon, Defensive Player of the Year. Like, they all look the same, but they just have a different little guy in them.
I hate how they're just, like, I don't like how they're, like, in glass like that or whatever. That looks stupid.
Yeah, it is. Very.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 25 of the Untitled Hoops.
Our Ben Simmons episode. It was our Ben Simmons, and we talked him up, Sean. You made me talk him up.
I didn't put that together. I didn't realize that was the case.
You make me talk him up on his episode.
Damn. That was crazy. That's Jesus. Won't he do it?
That's that mental health Jesus. That's that Jesus.
Anyway,
that mental health Jesus. I just imagine mental health Jesus just being fucking Tracy Morgan in a fucking blonde wig.
Jesus wasn't blonde. Why the fuck would he be in a blonde wig?
This is mental health Jesus. This is mental health Jesus. Obviously,
it's a whole
Tracy
different story.
A midlife, whole different story. Two different women. It's a lot.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
her name not even Mary. It's like Lusanne. Yep. There are people in the Bible. It'd be like some guy. It'd be some crazy name guy with like a basic bitch. Like here's Jepaphraius and his wife Rachel.
Susie. Yeah. His wife Rachel.
Here's Eagles and Legos.
All right.
And their wives Suzanne and Brittany. Like, what the fuck?
All right. We got to end the episode.
We got to, bro.
Thank you.
By the way, I got that. I got those jokes. I have to cite my jokes. That was from John Mulaney. It just popped in my head. But, like, when we were talking about that, it just perfect. Shout out John Mulaney.
Thank you for joining us for episode 25 of the Untitled Hoops podcast, of the Ben Simmons episode. If you would like to see more episodes, you can, of course, listen to them on whatever streaming service you're listening to this one on, or you can go to our website to see not only this podcast, but a couple others that we have as well up there, including the Brotaku Alliance and, no. Oh, wait, no, they're combined now. That's right. It is called the Mad Geeks. We don't have 3 podcasts anymore. We have 2 podcasts. It's this one and the Mad Geeks.
Really one.
It's 2. We just uploaded the episode of both. It's 2. It's 2 podcasts. Yes, we just uploaded the one where Seta E is we're trying to guess who bought her the plushie.
Yeah.
That just came out last week. Anyway, fucking throwing me off. If you would like to see more episodes, we got our older podcast on there as well. So if you want to check out what the fuck the Brotaku Alliance is, that is still up and live. You can go and check it out, listen to it, watch it on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on the socials, the Lowlights Network. We are on Instagram, Twitter, I believe TikTok. You're a Gen Xer, right? You do the TikTok, Gen Z.
I actually don't. I don't qualify for Gen Z.
Really? Okay.
2001.
All right. So what does that make you then? You are Gen Z.
Millennial.
No, you're not. Millennials end at 96.
I'm part of them.
No, you're not.
I'm not Gen Z.
You're not. You can't sit at the cool table, buddy. You at the TikTok and eating Tide Pods table.
I don't do that.
Anyway.
Where's G?
You're Gen Z. I want to watch you realize it. I want to see it on your face. Yeah, exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to watch the realization come across your face. Okay, anyway. Whoa, pause.
I don't condone it. I traded in.
You can't do that.
I traded in.
You can't do that. Somebody has to trade for you, and we don't want you.
Pretty sure a lot of people will trade it.
Go and check us out on the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, apparently, I think.
I got something to say to close this out.
Follow us. Push Doc. Is that what you're about to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
In our book, in our holy book, when you start winning too much, God takes away your Achilles. I.e. Kevin Durant.
Yes, we know. Good night, everybody.